Hey, welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I am Dylan.
And I'm Vinny. Today we're going to talk about a new chapter in the FTX drama where these financial influencers that promoted this garbage might finally be brought to some sort of justice. We're going to talk about, see if it's a good idea.
Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks.
All right. Here's a setup.
Yeah. So Coffeezilla actually released this great video about the kind of now lawsuit against all the big financial influencers. And we're going to look at some of the clips from the video and talk about them individually in terms of what they're promoting. That's what the whole point of this is.
The influencers who promoted FTX are now being sued for over $1 billion in damages, and I want to talk about it. We're not only speaking to a lawyer, but even one of the people getting sued. Meet Kevin, Graham Stephan, Andre Jick, Minority Mindset, Brian Jung, Financial Education Jeremy, Tom Nash, and BitBoy Crypto are all
right.
Yep.
So they're being sued.
Who's who of influencers right there. That is for sure.
It's definitely a lot. I don't know about this lawsuit
aspect. Of this lawsuit. Basically, the rest of these influencers
here's what they're being sued for.
Accused of promoting FTX and getting paid for it. It also accuses them of not conducting adequate, if any, due diligence. Allegedly, these influencers played a major role in the FTX disaster, who hyped the deceptive FTX platform for undisclosed payments. Now look, none of this is really surprising. We talked about this back in November, and it all feels inevitable. The whole reason FTX was so popular is because of the amount of money they dumped into these advertising campaigns. Everyone I know was offered one of these deals.
That's fair.
Either way, it's pretty logical to see that without people willing to take the money and sell FTX, it just couldn't have hurt as many people. And already, we saw a similar class action lawsuit come out against arguably the biggest promoters, Tom Brady, Larry David, Kevin O'Leary. And so this just seems like the next logical step targeted at smaller promoters, albeit financial education influencers in particular. So although these guys don't have as anything close to Tom Brady's popularity, the argument here is different. It's that people look to people like Graham Stephan and Meet Kevin in a different way than they looked at Tom Brady. If Tom Brady promotes some penny stock, you'll think nothing of it. But Meet Kevin, Graham Stephan, Andre Jick, Financial Jeremy, all they do is do finance all day long. They even have a podcast they called Millennial Money, which was sponsored by, you guessed
no different than Tom Brady,
FTX US, and is now deleted. And the point is, they position themselves as experts. And I think that's the real juice of this lawsuit, in contrast to, say, like...
So experts. They do say they're experts.
I mean, do they? Like, when do you become an expert? I mean, we're this financial kind of influencer or like entertainment space, but this isn't, my goal is never to influence people. My goal is to show just how humble you should be, because this stuff is hard and complicated, and all we're out here is a couple of people trying to do our best at this crap. I find it hard to believe that like people truly cross the line to becoming an expert. I don't know. It's just, where do you find that?
I agree. I do think they definitely tout themselves as experts, but even if they do, it's your problem if you follow them. I know that sounds cold, but if you want to listen to someone who touts himself as an expert when there's 7 billion people on the planet, I don't know. A lot of this money that they make is from YouTube, not finance stuff. So I mean, that's an important distinction.
It's worse if they are experts. But to make my position even more explicit, I don't think influencers of any kind should be allowed to promote these investment products. I think there's a huge downside to it and very little upside. I think you oftentimes end up hurting people because it's impossible to give broad financial advice in a responsible manner to a massive audience you don't know. But on that note, you might say, well...
I mean, when do you cross the line once again to giving advice versus like simply discussing the pros and cons of the individual things? Like, say, if you come on here and say like, I'm buying this widget. Like, is that you truly trying to influence others to buy that widget? I guess, you could make that argument, but that's not always it depends on your intent almost, if you will.
I mean, you can't stop a company paying people to say something. It doesn't make any sense. That's like if I don't know, if DuPont does commercials, but does that mean all the people in their commercials should be tried for all the people that got cancer? It's a stupid thing to say. It doesn't make any sense. You should be able to do whatever you want. He's essentially advocating for, like, you know, like little bumper cushions on corners in everyone's houses just in case they get hurt. Like, come on, just grow up. It's
You'd only be able to talk about something that you're like truly considered an expert in. So like, you know, Dylan and I were both working medicine. So yeah, we could talk about medicine on here, but the problem is you don't realize is that even within a field, even if you are an expert in a field, there's going to be profound disagreement.
So many.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why, like, almost assuming that just because you're arise to this expert level of something, that you truly should always have the perfect answer for every situation, I think is asinine. It's really about having like open and honest kind of conversations, if you will, about the pros and cons of different things. That, you know, is what an expert can do is weigh that, you know, and give you both sides of the coin.
Yeah, and you could also weigh the argument that Dave Ramsey gives advice in masses, and I mean, he's not going to get sued. So now here's the lawyer. This is important. Coffeezilla, who I do like. I don't want to shit on Coffeezilla. I actually like him a lot. He's like probably one of my favorite channels. I heavily disagree with this part, but he's dope. Here's the lawyer.
This particular legal strategy is going to hold water. I asked Legal Eagle, a well-known lawyer on YouTube, what he thought, and he was doubtful about its chances.
And basically, the entire case rests on a part of the Florida law that the plaintiffs claim connects the endorsers to FTX. I'm very skeptical of this. The section in question extends liability to any director, officer, partner, or agent for the seller if they personally participated or aided in the making of a sale. And if you're on YouTube or if you're a celebrity endorser, you're not a director of the company, you're not an officer, you're not a partner, and you're not an agent. You're not able to act on behalf of the company. You're just basically contracted to make a statement. For most of them, it relies on a bare allegation that they were, quote, paid to endorse FTX. And then there is a subsequent allegation where it's so wishy-washy. It says, quote, it is hard to imagine that anyone who has done business with FTX, including paid endorsers, would not have personally witnessed one or more of the deficiencies identified by Mr. Ray.
That's not true at all.
Guy who's in charge of the receivership.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree
FTX
with him.
Bankruptcy. And all FTX endorsers have extensive business dealings beyond FTX and surely would be able to identify business practices that are unusually problematic. Now, as a legal matter, I don't think that really changes anything. As a factual matter, it's just completely false that a celebrity endorser or a YouTuber would have any insight into the inner workings of FTX that the public does not have. That's just not the way it works. Though at the same time, I wouldn't want to be these YouTubers either, who are going to have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to their lawyers to defend against what is quite possibly a meritless lawsuit. I don't expect.
So it's pointless. And also, I agree. I don't think Tom Brady is like, man, I'm really trying to win the Super Bowl, but let me take a moment to look at FTX's financials. Like, no, that did not happen.
I don't think he's talking. Obviously, this lawsuit's not the Tom Brady lawsuit. This is lawsuit.
No, I know.
Just the financial influencers one. But why on earth would Graham Stephan, a real estate agent, have anything to add to the financial security or long-term reliability of a crypto brokerage? Like, why?
It doesn't make any logical sense. I think what's happening is, and this is fair, it's a natural human reaction. A lot of people lost an absolute ton of money, so they're going after everyone they have a bad taste in their mouth that may have led them, even though you make the decision to buy a stock, buy a crypto, no one's forcing you to do that. That's a stupid argument. But they're trying to get as much money back as they can, which that part sucks. That's not a good time.
Absolutely. And, it sucks that like these financial influencers are coming out of this and they're cash positive. Like, I don't know if did you include the other clip of Meet Kevin by any chance or no? No. So Meet Kevin discloses, he's interviewed for this video, that he was paid between $200,000 to $125,000, he thinks, in total from FTX. But and Meet Kevin, being the full politician that he tried to be, failed governor of California run, tried to flip it. Then it's like, well, but I lost $450,000 on BlockFi. It's like, well, that's a separate discussion. But the point is, you made $200,000 to $225,000 by promoting FTX. Okay, that's the actual point here, and I get that. And like, it all depends on where you come down, like morally yourself. Like, how would I feel about that? He said he's like, oh, perhaps if there's some sort of charitable thing after this, I would be interested in contributing towards that, which
I'm sure.
I think is the politically right answer and probably morally right answer.
Yeah, that dude sucks.
Yeah, he belongs in Congress. He would fit in there. He has no spine, so.
Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That guy sucks. I don't like him at all. I think he's very scummy. This is what it is. I think the lawsuit is trash. It's not going to, they will lose money on attorney fees. So maybe if that was their goal the whole time, like they know it's trash, but they're like, as long as they lose 20K, I'm happy. Maybe.
It's true. It's one way to get the money back. You're going to dislodge the money from Meat Kevin's pockets and put it into his lawyers.
There you go. All right, guys. Let us know what you guys think of this lawyer thing. Anything else, Vinny?
No, that's it. Got you on the next one.